Buck v. Bell was a landmark 1927 Supreme Court case that upheld the constitutionality of forced sterilization laws. This case would have profound implications for disability rights, reproductive freedom, and human rights in America. The case centered on Carrie Buck, a young woman from Virginia. Born in 1906, Buck came from a poor family and was placed in foster care at a young age. In 1924, at age 18, she was committed to the Virginia State Colony for Epileptics and Feeble-minded. This occurred during the height of the American eugenics movement, which promoted the idea of improving the population through selective breeding and forced sterilization. In 1924, Virginia passed a law allowing forced sterilization of those deemed unfit. The law targeted people with mental illness, intellectual disabilities, epilepsy, and other conditions. Under this law, institutions could petition for sterilization of their patients through a basic hearing process. The Supreme Court heard Buck's case in 1927. In an 8-1 decision, the court upheld Virginia's sterilization law. Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. wrote the majority opinion, infamously declaring 3 generations of imbeciles are enough, referring to Buck, her mother, and her daughter. The court's reasoning rested on several key points. First, they claimed sterilization served the public good by preventing the birth of defective children. Holmes compared forced sterilization to mandatory vaccination, arguing both were constitutional uses of state power. The court ruled that states had broad authority to protect public welfare, even if that meant violating individual bodily autonomy. The impact of Buck versus Bell was devastating. Over 70,000 Americans were forcibly sterilized under similar laws. The decision even influenced Nazi Germany's eugenics programs. Today, Buck versus Bell is considered one of the Supreme Court's greatest mistakes, alongside cases like Dred Scott and Plessy versus Ferguson. Buck versus Bell remains relevant today in discussions of bodily autonomy, disability rights, and reproductive freedom. It serves as a warning about the dangers of allowing government control over reproductive rights and the importance of protecting individual autonomy. The case reminds us to remain vigilant in protecting the rights of vulnerable populations and ensuring that such violations of human rights never happen again.